Yesterday was Father's Day 2019, and it was a little rough for me. I have to be honest. For those who don't know, I've had my kids taken away from me, which is to say that my children have had their father taken away from them, and this was for no reason. And I'm sure you're probably thinking, oh, that I'm either making this up or I'm exaggerating. Now, I'm not. Okay. In California, there is this law called the DVPA, the Domestic Violence Prevention Act. And in a family law case, it allows the judge to issue a restraining order. Now, in a lot of cases, these restraining orders are necessary. There is such a thing as domestic violence. And when there is domestic violence or the threat of harm, there should be a restraining order. And we need those. But this DVPA law also allows a judge to bring a restraining order for anything that destroys the mental or emotional calm of the other person. And that could mean anything. It can mean nothing. And these restraining orders are being used every day in case after case, not because there's any domestic violence going on, but just as a weapon, as a strategic weapon in divorce cases and custody cases. And it's wrong, and it's harmful, and it is destroying lives. It is destroying families. Now, the fact that there are crazy people in this world, narcissists or borderlines or just crazy people who want to hurt somebody else. We know there are these people. We know this. This is not too surprising to me, okay? It was surprising that my now ex-wife turned out that she was one. It's, as I look back, the red flags were there, but it's tough when it's you, right? We all think, these are the kind of things that happen to somebody else, right? But the fact that there are crazy people in the world who want to do hurtful things, that doesn't surprise me. We know this. But the part that's really getting me is that we have a system, a court system. We have a law that allows those people who do want to do crazy, who do want to do harm, who do want to perpetrate this parental alienation. The law gives them just the perfect weapon. We even, starting to have a term for it. We call it the silver bullet, because so many cases, the one spouse, it's usually the woman, not always, but usually it is the woman, the ex-wife, who is firing this silver bullet against her ex-husband to try to win at divorce. It's wrong. This law is wrong. Not the whole law, not the whole DVPA law. Like I said, we need restraining orders in cases where there's a true threat of harm. But the little tiny part of the law that says that you can have a restraining order just because you upset the mental or emotional calm of the other person, it's wrong. It's unconstitutional. In my case, I've been They found that my civil lawsuit was domestic violence. They have gagged me and prohibited me from posting things on the internet that I would ordinarily have a right to talk about. This is what's called a prior restraint of my free speech. And until now, until this DVPA law, a prior restraint of free speech was subject to the highest constitutional scrutiny. They can't do that unless there is a finding that your speech is somehow unprotected, like a threat of violence or something like that. Not anymore. Now they're saying all that is necessary is for somebody to come and testify, oh, this upset my emotions. Whatever it is, that's the only thing in the law. That's it. If I did X and X upset my ex-wife's emotions, that's it. It's domestic violence. If I, suppose I wore a T-shirt that had an offensive slogan on it, and it genuinely angered my ex-wife. Okay, would you think that that's domestic violence? Well, it is now. What if, what if somebody was using contraceptives and the other person thought that was like immoral? Would you think that's domestic violence? Well, it is now. What if the other person voted for the wrong political candidate and it, upset the other person? Hey, I know at least two couples that I know of. He voted for Donald Trump in the last presidential election, and she voted for Hillary Clinton, and there was friction between the two of them. Do you know anybody that has happened to? But whatever you feel about Democrats or Republicans, is voting for the wrong political candidate, is that domestic violence? Well, it is now under this law, unless we can get this law changed. And that's what I'm trying to do. I have gotten my court case up to the United States Supreme Court. And it's been no easy thing. It's taken me 2.5 years of fighting through this court system, a restraining order hearing itself, and then the Court of Appeals, and then the California Supreme Court. And so far, California has upheld this law that is, according to all of the other law that has come before it, this is unconstitutional. It's wrong, and it's clearly wrong. I've got to bring this case before the United States Supreme Court so that they can have a chance to strike it down as unconstitutional. I've got the help of constitutional attorneys who are supporting me in this. They tell me this is a great case. But what I didn't know until a few days ago is that the filing fees and the printing fees are almost $5,000. So I'm asking for your support in trying to help me bring this case to the U.S. Supreme Court where it needs to be, so that we can overturn this law, and so that families can be saved, so that lives can be saved, so that the children won't have to suffer having their parent taken away for no reason, the way mine were. And maybe there could be some Father's Days in the future that are a little bit better than mine was yesterday. Thank you.